buzz on how they're going to do.
Well, very interesting. They've played 2 train matches so far in the Masters, and they have won both of them so far. So their train record's pretty solid. Nuke as well. They've played once, and they were able to snatch that away from, I believe it was CEX. So possibly not the team that you'd be looking at, but here we are. We're into the action. Chimped already taking down Connor, the Irish legend. Now we're looking to see if it can be Endpoint cleaning up house. Currently 4 versus 3. The bomb to be planted though in the smoke for Imperial. Zelen able to hold on, takes down Snods. Ezio looking very low as well. Could be fairly easy for Imperial, but this backstab from Mighty Max just pulled him apart. 2 goes to him. Jakim gonna find 1, but now he's in that 1 versus 2. Taken out by Ezio. A great round by Endpoint. Able to come through, clean up house, and take that first point for the board.
Very much a tug of war between these two teams. Endpoint, they were kind of a bit hit and miss in their approach on that retake, but Ezio opens up with that kind of latter end of a double kill, springs on through the defuse as well, and really kind of brings up that round for the CT side. And it's so important they start off strong, especially considering their roster. They're going to have a few kinks, there's going to be a few issues. So at least a good opportunity now for them to kind of needle away their way through, get themselves on this second round, the UMPs, even a rifle in fact, on towards Ezio of that M4, so quickly going to be gunning for almost instant success. But, as a saying, the harder you rise, the harder you fall. Imperial, they are going to look to respond with that first buy, but for now, an easy one for them. Some P250s, nothing crazy with that Kevlar. They're just going to run off the back, they got a bomb plant, that's money in their back pockets.
Certainly is, and they'll just be looking to play this round safe, possibly just rush straight onto the B site, look for a second bomb plant, just to give them the best kind of economy they could be hoping for coming into this. You currently see Connor peeking up high, but it will be Snods down low with the UMP, watching as Imperial flood onto the site. Here comes the rush, but it's Snods with 2 so far and a third to make it a triple. Jacob finally shuts him down, but that might just be enough here for Endpoint. Mighty Max needs to stop this bomb plant, but he's not going to. So extra economy, that's all that Imperial wanted. Any kills is a plus here if they can find them. They will not though. So Endpoint with the fuse as expected, but more importantly, a plant for Imperial. Now they come into round 3, 2 plants. They have a really good start at trying to get themselves onto the board.
Imperial, a double bomb plant both in pistol and in that follow-up really means that this buy is going to be much more tougher for them to face up against, and kind of the reasons you really kind of capitalize off the back of that if you're Imperial is that they know that Endpoint still have SMGs in play. You've still got 2 UMPs and that MP7 as well, so really kind of have to play their cards. Already Snod's going to go aggressive off the back of those, takes down the MVP Zelen, so Portuguese talent is going to go a bit of wash. So a 5 versus 4 begins to unfold.
Certainly does, and it's very interesting, these 2 substitutes coming in for Endpoint, and how that's going to affect their play here. And the gravity of this matchup is that Endpoint, they've lost their second place to FM after FM took a 2-0 yesterday against CX. So they're going to be looking for those 3 points with a double win to make it back into second. More importantly for Imperial, they're currently stuck in a 3-way tie. So they need to get a single point here to define themselves from the pack. Make sure that they are clearly in 4th position going towards these playoffs. They've only got 1 more week, really, after this to get those points. So this matchup's super important for both teams to define their places on the ladder. Currently Jacob pushing into the A site, and he's got a sign Snods. That's the AWP down for Imperial. Now it's going to be Boaster trying to do the same, but he gets chimped out by Chimp there. Can Connor make anything work? No, he cannot. He's not even going to find a shot. So that will be Endpoint cleaning up house there, and they get the second AWP for their lineup on train.
At the end of the day, when the going gets tough, you handle it. You just build a bridge and get over it, and that's what Endpoint deal with. They kind of come up against the side of Imperial, who, yes, they've got everything they've not, but just because you have the tools, just as we said yesterday, doesn't mean you know what to do with them. And Endpoint now getting themselves 3-0 up. That's pretty good for them. Going to be holding together their CT side, and they're going to look for another kind of well-kept anti-eco. A double AWP setup in this round isn't exactly kind of what you want, but it's what they've got, so keep it clean. Don't lose those AWPs. Allow Ezio to run riot with the M4, and, well, they've done their job.
Collateral for Chimp there. We may have missed it, but they both appeared at once, I believe, so pretty sexy stuff here for Endpoint. 4-0. It's how you want to start off a game, especially on CT side train. It's favored for the CTs, and if Endpoint can just put as many points on the board, it's going to be great. But great trained teams, they know how to play that terrorist side, And Imperial, they have a good track record so far here in the Masters, so I'm expecting them to show some tricks. They're looking to try and get onto B, but Mighty Max coming up the staircase and he's going to spot Jacob. Can he get out of here with his life? In fact, he's just going to take the lives of the Imperial lineup there. 3 kills come through as he escapes down the staircase. And when your back is up against the wall, you're in that fight and flight moment. That's when players start to shine.
Start to shine, and well, they are pretty much the big light at this point that carries Endpoint right up to their destination as they continue to nonchalantly follow it. Mighty Max going to be there to hold off Boaster and Molotov to even further force him out of position, leaving Reason to now kind of go, okay, well, how do I support you? How do I play with you? That's right, no Snods. He's just going to peek into me. I have no idea where I am, what I am doing. As Boaster is going to fall as well to Mighty Max, and there you have it, Endpoint keeping it absolutely clean as they take it 5-0. Perfection from them in the way they've approached this matchup. Imperial right now, they're looking a bit dazed and confused, kind of rocking the whole deer in headlights approach. But this isn't no 80s pop band they're listening to. They've got to step up.
Certainly do, especially in scenarios like this where you are looking to separate yourself. Make sure you are putting together a strong argument for your playoffs chances. Another B rush here. Pistols out for Imperial, but that is it. A single flashbang on JChem may allow them to get onto the site, plant the bomb, look for a bit of extra economy here, Flex, but that will be it. Currently Boaster looking to make some noise towards A, but it's been spotted out and a HE will force him back down to 30 HP and no armor. In fact, he shoots his own teammate. Oh dear, what did you say to him, Jacob? Must have been saying catch or something to his teammate. Just something to be able to respond, get a response like that.
Yeah, sure, as all is fun with a bit of a ball game here and there. Just throw one out, see if he's going to bat it back in return as Cryptic's going to have a bit of a volley with his AK-47. The good old Kalashnikov is going to find himself a double kill, but can't quite pull off with the triple. As Ezio is going to at least do the work there with the M4. So all in all, pretty success. Snods, of course, too quick with the trigger with the AWP as a double for him. Endpoint 6-0, cutting their losses for the most part too. The economy is well and truly built up. Looking at $15,100, 11,000. Where are you complaining? You're not at this point, are you? Endpoint, they are rolling in the dollar. Imperial, it's kind of another round where they have to step up. We're getting to 6-0 now. Endpoint, they get to 7. You could already argue they're running away with this.
Certainly can. Is that AWP purchase for JChem, but the full loss bonus is there. Snods doesn't quite connect his shot up close and forced back with a bit of a love tap as well. Now we'll have to see if Imperial can make anything of this. They're spreading out wide across the map, looking to just make an entry anywhere. And something we haven't seen yet is a strong Ivory? No, not quite.
Strong Ivy push. I feel like that's what you're going for.
Yeah,
I can agree with you too. I think if we see some Ivy presence come out from Imperial, that's where they can set themselves up for a bit of a pinnacle split up on towards A. Because if they don't find that, then what it means is that the AWPs aren't being pressured. Now, with that double up setup, kind of allowing those AWPs to run right or giving them free room to get those picks, pry you apart, and then you're already fighting, what, a 5 versus 4 or 5 versus 3? That's almost best case scenario, it feels like. So that Ivy presence needs to come through, and you kind of hit the nail on the head by bludgeoning that topic. At Endpoint, kind of still right now, they're sat waiting. They know Imperial are at a box. It's time for Imperial to break down those walls.
Smoke's going to make their way on towards the A site, but it does look like Imperial are wanting to split their presence. One onto B site, the other's going to drop down in Pop Dog. They're just trying to confuse Endpoint as to where the bomb is coming from, but for Endpoint, they are not moving a muscle. It is going to be the bomb making its way through those T garages, but 18 seconds left in Imperial, and they need to get the bomb down now. They're running out of time. That's Zelen creeping on through. Boaster's about to run into Imi's crosshair, and it's all falling apart. 10 seconds left. Can Resin make something happen here? Bomb will get planted, but for how long? Oh dear, Resin takes his own teammate down before Snods finishes the job, and Endpoint will easily defuse that bomb there. Very messy from Imperial.
Do you see what I mean about the AWPs though? Both of them in that round found themselves a frag, and not only that, then sort of rifles just kind of do the work as well. And what it came down to is every single fight was a 1 versus 1 up until we got to that fight on the site. So that's not really anything too positive now for Imperial. They have to change it up.
And then, you know, in the case of, I believe it was Resin versus Zelen, it's a 2 versus 1. Poor Zelen, not having fun time against his teammate and Snods there. So just doesn't work out when you accidentally shoot through your teammate. Sometimes, you know, I'm joking about it, is kind of that scenario where you kind of have to go for the shot or else you lose out. Connor, though, does open up strong. This is good for Imperial. They've taken down Snods, and that AWP present on the B site. We'll have to split Endpoint up, but its CT train makes things even harder as the CTs can move from site to site so easily. The rotations will be there no matter where Imperial strike.
Does give them that first blood advantage, though, which is something they were searching for, and also something we were kind of brating them pretty damn hard for as well. So, all in all, a situation that certainly can bear reward, as it is going to be this T-side, trying to still regard that map control. Ezio is a bit more aggressive in his approach, but nothing that adds too much into the round just yet, as Imperial, they're currently setting up for an execute. Now, Ezio's position, if he finds one, sure, that's great. But he needs some support. There needs to be a flash thrown when those smokes come in, when the execute falls from Imperial. Here we have it. The smokes are going to formulate. It's going to pop. Cryptics now needs to lob one over. Ezio going to look for that first shot.
Flash does.
Ooh, gets the double.
That's perfect. The flash comes out. It slows down Imperial and takes 2 out. Now the man advantage is there. Oh, it's not. It's even up. But the smokes, the wall shall allow the bomb to go down. Is Cryptics looking to try and make a move. Doesn't quite find a kill, but he does put pressure down. Molotov into connector, but Imi has already made his way through. Looking for Connor. Connor will be able to spray down. Currently, Imperial holding the side. It's only Mighty Max, and he's been held back, and Connor's peeking. Very close there. Down to 1 HP, but 1 HP is all you need. Imperial find their first point.
This is where it all has to begin right now. They're sat there staring up against the scoreline going, okay, it's 7-1. The odds are all but against us. This is our one shot right now, because if they lose this, Endpoint, they're going to capitalize on it so much that you could be arguing 9-1, 10-1 is going to be where we find ourselves sat upon. So Imperial have to make it work in this round. It's another round where we kind of just repeat that saying of, you have to break it. They have the AWP, they have the 4 AKs, they have the utility. Try and get that first pick, try and work Ivy. Jacob going to be there to catch the head off Imi. Good start. But where are they going to go next? Smoke is going to go down in reflex from Ezio. Imperial, you can clearly see some sort of presence coming over towards this B site, meaning that pressure is going to start to be applied to Mighty Max. If they can find a weakness there, that could lead to a point of attack for them, something they can try and exploit.
Well, he is currently the only man on the B site here. And if Imperial are able to break that one open, they will have that advantage for sure. But currently the bomb is telling me that Imperial aren't convinced they want to go B. A seems a little bit more attractive to them with that opening on Ivy, and they're currently rotating their men over towards the entry points for the A site. Snod currently set up in a position that he can spot them early coming through the garages for the terrorists. He will be looking to try and make that work for him. However, it is this Ivy control that you were talking about that Imperial are looking for. Ezio on the other side of a smoke and 3 impeding terrorists to look to come through onto the A site. 35 seconds on the clock, and Reason somehow has made his way into the garages. Snod's up close with an AWP. Will find the first shot, but Ezio loses his life, and that is going to be Snod's backstabbed as well. Imperial just tearing through. It's Mighty Max once more left in a 1v4. Finds the first, looking for a second bomb to be planted. It's an impossible situation, and Zelen's going to show him why. There's that second round win for Imperial, so important to avoid being reset.
It's completely different if they didn't take control of Ivy, though, and that's something that has to be stressed. This Ivy control has completely changed the game for Imperial. Endpoint, you're now looking at them as that kind of adaptation style. When are they going to finally shift this puzzle and force Imperial to kind of have to reshuffle almost? For now, balls to the wall, let's just rush through garage. Why not? Look for these frags, and it's working out for them. Boaster going to find one, but Ezio with the double kill. Cryptics, another headshot on towards Boaster. This isn't all but done. Imperial, you are not secure. A quick rush like that could be very, very dangerous for you now. Reason going to try and get himself up on top of this blue train, playing for the elevated flight up against Cryptics. Targeting down just 40 HP, but it's not quite enough. Mighty Max is going to be there to secure that advantage, furthering it for Endpoint. As we are in a 4 versus 1 situation, Jacob, the brains behind Imperial, is the last man standing, and perhaps this minute 15 on the clock gives him time to think, reflect on these mistakes, as that right there was a very ballsy call, and one that did not pay off at all.
Just about spots Nods. He will find that peak against him, and so he does make his chances stronger here, Flakes, but you're right. A ballsy play gone wrong. We've seen it so many times, and it's very unfortunate for Imperial. They finally figured out what was winning them rounds, and then they completely ignore it, throw it to the wind. Jacob, he has made his way through here. Possibly a chance for him to get into the site, but he's going to be rushed. You can hear the footsteps. Flashbang goes down, but a quick peek does find Mighty Max. Cryptics will be able to trade nonetheless. 8-2 for Endpoint, and Imperial forgets exactly what got them those 2 points on the board. Now forced into a sticky situation where they are forced to save up, but Connor won't have a good buy, so possibly a force down. And that is exactly what happens. Guns board up, it's an AK, Galil, and AWP, plus 2 Deagles. Limited utility. Imperial looking to rush straight towards this B site. Hopefully, they will look to play it a little bit slow though.
Thankfully, they are rocking the more kind of slow aspect in this round, which at least is better. They're just defaulting out. They're looking to find, yet again, that weakness. But the problem is they've already kind of played their hand. They're sitting now at a poker table where everyone's going, you know what, you're just terrible at this. Why are you even sitting here right now? So for Imperial, they've got to step back for a second, rehash everything they went into knowledge-wise into this matchup, into train, and then come back into it. With this buy, it's very, very dodgy, but they're looking to put some more aggression on towards Pop Dog. This is something they haven't quite tried. A lot of their aggression comes from Ivy and Garage. So, 2-prong attack, get those smokes down, get those flashes in, just hope to take down Cryptics. Jaken with that first frag is a big part of this setup.
Certainly is, and that AWP can be devastating at range if Imperial can find the angles for themselves. It will be this A-site attack, the 2-prong attack that you mentioned. Currently just waiting to get set up, making sure they aren't being flanked here by Endpoint. 40 seconds left on the clock, and it is Imperial playing the clock down here, but Boaster's onto the site. Finds Izio. Is able to get the frag. Now Imi up on top of this train, gonna find Zelen. Finds the kill. Trading back and forth, but it's looking good here for Endpoint. It's just 2 versus 1. And Jacob that one with the bomb in hand and the AWP. 20 seconds to act. Is he going to go for the B site here? Yes, he is. Okay. I like this move, but he'll have to deal with Mighty Max up close on the staircase, and they are going to run into each other here. No, Mighty Max is going to fall back. The Molotov goes down. It does damage, and now he can force the fight. Going up close with the AWP, and it will not work out. Mighty Max plays that perfectly. Double aces for him, and he'll be all inning.
Imperial, they had the right idea. This is something we can't knock them for. They actually had a good game plan there, but it was the micro mistakes, the micro transgressions that kind of really crumbled that round yet again like a bit more of a pie because they didn't check connector. That was the 2 versus 2 where it all gone wrong. From there, it's 2 versus 1. Jacob, he's a talented AWPer, but when you're up against Money Max on that B site, when he's got the information to throw down that Molotov, there's not too much he can do. Now, just the land of the pistols. Now, yeah, try and rush towards B, try and get that plant, but Mighty Max, he's just going to gobble you up and spit you back out again.
Love it. HE does damage, and then he kills. Just looking for ace here. It looks like he'll just about get it as well. Very nice stuff. Simple stuff against armorless, pistoled up terrorists. But the ability to pull it off consistently is what we like to see. 10-2 here, round 13. Imperial with guns once more, and the utility as well, Flakes. We want to see that Ivy control once more. We want to see a little bit more of a calculated attack from Imperial.
Certainly want to see that calculation, as you mentioned, but sometimes it takes time. Time, though, Imperial, they do not have. Seem to be wanting to hint towards this B site, but Snods and his aggression is yet again going to be well timed. Not in the terms of quick walking on forward and finding that quick flick, but more in the fact that he's just holding his angle. He's being patient for it now. There will come a point there where he decides to fall back, and that puts more reliance on that ramp hold, as Imperial are also showing a bit more presence over towards A, so keeping themselves pretty thin. But look at Ezio, this man's so confident, and they have no idea reason. Tries to check for it, but then Snods will peek. There's the timing. 2 quick frags for Endpoint. Imperial, yet again, no idea how to respond, no idea what to do. They are lost on train.
And this is great play from Endpoint. Ezio making that call. We'll come back to it though, as Jacob is deciding to push onto the A site. 2 frags for him. It's a good start as they do look to open it up, put it into a 3 versus 3. Might find Cryptics out of position, but he won't. Makes the bomb plant harder. Molotov goes down. It's Cryptics up on top of the train. 8 HP and Boasted to try and find the frag. It will be Zelen, in fact. 44 seconds. The bomb will be planted and it leaves Snods in a 1 versus 2. AWP at range at the back of this train yard to find the retake. Does have that defuse kit. Has plenty of utility as well. P250 currently equipped it, and Zelen looking like he wants to peek. Boaster's there as well. It's an impossible situation when you go up against 2 like that, and Snods will lose his life. But let's come back to Ezio there, because it was really intelligent play. He's been playing that aggressive position in Garage there for his team, And he works out, okay, Imperial haven't made a noise. What are they going to be doing? It's Ivy control. They're going to be looking to hold these angles and the aggressive play. It definitely gave Endpoint the advantage. Just good frags from Jacob, able to bring Imperial back into this.
Yeah, you can't belittle that round at all, and you really have to give credit where credit is due towards Jacob. Yeah, we're knocking on Imperial a fair bit for their T side. It is very shambolic still, and one round doesn't change it. It's still 10-3, but Jacob, he is opening up things with an AWP. He did bring that back round almost single-handedly there, so really got to kind of give him a bit of a round of applause. Hope it's repeatable, however.
Certainly. They can get 2 more on the board, make it 10-5 on a T-side train. It's not the worst of performances. Certainly comebackable if they can get that CT pistol win and then hold Endpoint at bay. If any map was to do it, it's train. Let's see where they can go from this. It is going to be Imperial once more, spread out across the map. Just looking to bide their time, but no one up towards Ivy this time for Imperial. Lacking any presence towards there, and Imi will have an easy time. Perhaps they put someone down, but currently it doesn't look that way. It's going to make their moves slowly and surely towards both sites. It's almost like they're trying to fake out onto both sites at the same time. The bomb is out towards A, and Snods does find Jacob there. Makes it difficult. Resin in the smoke finds 1 frag and actually gets out alive. Only tier 2 burns there, not quite the 3, and Boaster does find Snods. All of a sudden, this round makes sense for Imperial, but they've got 25 seconds. They need to make a move, and Ezio's holding the fort. Just Resin and Boaster, bomb in hand, trying to get onto A site. Molotov will hold back. Endpoint should be able to get the bomb down, but 15 seconds, it's running out of time. They need to get those after plant positions ASAP to avoid being flanked from all directions by Endpoint.
A few angles to be covered. But we're about to learn. Did Imperial take a quick skim read? Is that how they thought they understood? It's going to be Ezio to find the first. Make that a second as he double dips on towards Boaster. And there's your mistake. The skim read does not mean you understand something. Go back to the books, Imperial. You still don't quite know how to make it work. As Endpoint, they get just another round now to build on into this 11-3, playing for that 12-3. And Imperial, their money is so tight going to this that you kind of have to ask the question, what are they going to do here? Are they going to go for that quick rush where they got shot down in probably one of the most decimating rounds of this entire half? How else are they going to approach it? At least they have utility. I think that's something in itself, more of a wavering candle at the end of the tunnel, but at the end of the day, this is going to be tough no matter what.
Certainly will. They're currently faking a quick rush towards the A site, but they've got in position to come from top dog and this garage. Nod's not able to find that shot towards the terrace, and the wall of smokes have been set up by Imperial. The bomb make its way over and get planted as we speak. The trades are starting to come out. A 4 versus 4 in the after plant here, and Imperial looking to just try and hold Endpoint back. It's such a hard scenario to get through these smokes, but they ran out of utility. Just one more flashbang from Zealot is all they have, and that's going to be a great spray through the smoke from Mighty Max, but he's taken down. Good stuff. Imperial just leaves Ezio on the bomb train. Can he do much here in this position? He's going to get peeked from all angles. Zealot just doing a bit of work, and he will find the kill with the UMP, so it is 4-11. For Imperial as we head into the second half. It's not the flashiest of scorelines, but a pistol win will actually put them in a fairly decent position.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, but at the end of the day, just to kind of draw back to that last round again, not to kind of harp just directly on over it. That was a very well-played crossfire towards Ivy. Of course, the back of trains being covered as well. Green train being a pinnacle part of covering of Ivy when the counter push came in. In fairness to Imperial, yeah, they had a few dodgy rounds, but they also at least saw a few nice ones there and that. So hopefully we can kind of see them rubble around a bit, see if they can pull the more successful side as they move on to the counter terrace side. A couple of pushes already are going to be coming in from Endpoint, however, as they look to make their advance out on towards B.
It's going to be straight towards this bomb site. Bomb to be planted immediately. No action just yet, but Mighty Max will be the first to lose his life to Connor's USP, and Snod's not looking too healthy either as he finds Resin on the other end of that bullet. Now, I'll have to see if Endpoint can hold on to the plant here, as it is all of these CTs pushing from all angles. Connor comes through, finds 2, makes things easy, as that is going to be the complete ace coming through, clean from Imperial and collected. The bomb to be defused as well. They get that pistol round and the 5th on the scoreboard for themselves. Now they can look to try and push that to a better scoreline.
For sure, I think what they did there was they pretty much just funneled together, and they just, if they play together like this, if they build into the second round, they keep it clean, that's, what, their 6th round, make that their 7th? you aren't really complaining too much if you're Imperial. It starts to go from, okay, this isn't too big of a gap, we can still make this one work. But let's see how they handle this one at least. It is just another anti-eco for them by all intents and purposes. As Endpoint, they got their bomb plant, so they're going to be happy. They're just going to sit with these P250s and try and apply a bit of damage in there, a bit of squeeze. They barrel out towards Electric. Theo is going to tap on towards Ellen, so that's one to lose, but Connor with the M4 does knock them back.
I like the rifle purchases here from Imperial, respecting that they need the range on CT side train, and respecting that Endpoint will be still looking to find frags, still looking to get a bomb plant down, so they double up, not looking to get any extra kill bonus from the SMGs, just making sure that they get that round nice and clean, and it puts them in a decent position heading into this first gun round. The AK's there for Endpoint, but it's pretty much rifles on everyone here, bar that one for Mass, the half rifle as I call it, but it can do work. Don't keep it out. Boaster certainly knows how to use it. Imperial, they need to take this round here, push their lead in this half further. Well, that's when Endpoint start running away with things.
Problem for Imperial and that last half was the start of the rounds, the early days, the default stage. They're off the points, we didn't quite get to see that, but the other ladies on their CT side, so far so good. Jacob, Connor, Zelen all combining frags across the board. Zelen get over the double kill. Cryptix is going to respond with something for Endpoint, but no Needle is going to fix this situation. Nothing will change. Reason going to pick off Cryptix and a frag he'll find, but that's going to be the bare minimum as Imperial get themselves that first buy. 11-7. There's the scoreline. Imperial, they approach it pretty well. I do want to see how their retakes are though.
Yeah, no, certainly. It's very easy to win a round when you don't actually have to get into a retake scenario. Just finish it off before that bomb goes down. It's fantastic. It does choke the economy for Endpoint here as we head further. Even more important for Imperial, they keep 4 men in the server, and they also pick up 2 AKs in the process, making it a very lovely transaction for them. Now they just need to clean out these anti-ecos. 8-11, not many points in it when you hit that point. And we get the first gun round coming through here for Endpoint. A scary time. Mighty Max showing his Power Ranger skills there.
He's going to be
watching a little bit too much Twitch, I think.
Happy days as usual. Sadly, have to miss that, but
yeah,
as is. Snods.
Is it sad though? We get to watch great Counter-Strike.
Sure, it's a bit of a kind of a win/loss scenario depending on which way you look at it, right? Tech9s, of course, are going to try and bend a few bullets around the place. Cryptic still searching for his soulmate with the end of that deagle. Zelen is going to fall to Snods. An elevated fight for him, but one that he will begin to run away with. They're close now.
Yes.
Reason doesn't quite want to have to handle this fight towards Connector, and this is not quite the situation you want to see for the CT side. I said I want to see a retake. Pretty much going to come on through unless Boaster can shut them down. A singular kill for both of these players. Makes this one seem a little bit more sensible again.
Wow, Cryptix with the AWP pokes onto Boaster, but he's not able to finish it off. It is Boaster versus Ezio. Resin going to back him up. He jumps over to the bomb train, trying to find Resin, who he knows is in Connector. Hasn't been able to get the bomb just yet. 18 seconds, he needs to find it, get it down for his team, get the economy going, and it does look like Imperial will just allow this to happen. That Molotov won't quite spread. Bomb planted, it is an after-take, a 2v1. And if Imperial plays this right, it should be fairly easy. That is exactly what you want to see. A hairy situation. Should have been lost 3 members. But as soon as those pistols do get up close, especially the Tech-9s, they hurt. And that's where Endpoint will punish you if you aren't on point. However, it is 4 in a row here for Imperial as they make it 8-11. The first proper gun round here. Imperial need to win this.
We have seen once or twice here for Imperial at least, so we can kind of start to build up towards a premise of solid play on their CT side and start to make them a little bit more exciting now. Yeah, they had a few issues with those pistols, but let's see what they can do with this secondary attempt at the rifles for Endpoint now, as they are going in with 5 flat Kalashnikovs, trying to find themselves those early headshots and a whole lot of presence over towards Popdog/B. But well, that's going to be a battlefield fought and in contention as Imperial. They're going to be nipping right at their heels. Jacob on towards Dimmy as well, over towards the A site, just keeping long down the side of those trains. The trade the Cryptics will find is going to be ever so plentiful.
Now for Endpoint, just trying to get close to that bomb train. The smokes down, but the smokes do reveal gaps. Zelen will abuse them. Unfortunately, though, Cryptics can do the same. Resin will come from behind. We'll find 2. Can Mighty Max trade on through both Boaster and Resin so low? Very low, in fact. Mighty Max in a great position to make this work, but the bomb currently being secured and they're hiding behind this E-box. He makes it a 1 versus 1. Resin now knows the position, but will he be able to peek here? He does, and he finds the frag for himself. Resin keeps the dream alive for Imperial as he pushes this to 9 on the board. And now it's looking very similar to the first half of this game. Endpoint were able to find 7 unanswered rounds in a row. Imperial looking to do the same.
Really cloning that first half and showing the prowess you can have on a CT side of train between these two teams. Of course, Endpoint, a double stack for D-box like that, it's just giving up all the information, pretty much playing all your cards before you even get going. Mighty Max is going to try and change pace somewhat as he just well and truly charges on forward, but he's caught no one by surprise.
Well, he does find Connor, but Zelen will shut it down. The trade is there, unfortunately for Zelen though. Imi up on this train, unspotted. Now the bomb to make its way straight on towards the bomb train will be planted just behind. It's a 2 versus 4 after-take here for Imperial, and they're going to count their losses. The AWP and the M4 still in their hands. They will just hold onto it, make sure that their economy isn't hurt too much as they fall back towards the CT spawn. But Endpoint have done it. In round 6 of this second half, they are able to get a point on the board. That's 2 ahead of when Imperial started biting at the heels of Endpoint. But a reset imminent. If Endpoint do fail to take the next round, that could be disastrous for their economy.
Yeah, it's a situation where you really don't want to be sat in, right? It's very much make it or break it for them now. Kinda just, I'm stuck on the point of Imperial.
Okay.
Honestly, because things were not looking good at all for them. There were some really broken rounds. The team play was just all over the board. But their CT side, yeah, we've had this round, this curveball where Endpoint have been able to squeeze on 3 of 1, and now Imperial have to sit tight with just these pistols and the AWP and rifle, but they've had some really good rounds. They have some solid setups. They've been able to get the flashes down. They've been able to get the amazing connections. So Train isn't looking like too much of a shamble for them. Boaster, on towards Ezio. That's a good start too. Find those picks, play off the weaponry you have. Allow Boaster to try and run right. Misses a crucial shot, however, but gets the secondary peek on towards Snods. This is what I'm talking about. Play together as a team. Bank off the back of the... Money Max will squeeze through with 1, but 1 doesn't change too much. Boaster 1 HP, however, does start to change the battlefield.
Yeah, and look at the armory for Imperial. It's still just pistols, apart from Boaster with that AWP. So, despite the fact they have a man advantage, they are down in the gun department. And Jacob's going to try and make something happen here as he peeks. Mighty Max is hiding in the garage. Imi knows he's coming. Communication is there. Cryptic up in heaven. Will be rushed, but he keeps calm and confident. Boaster, 1 HP, takes a shot. And he knew he was dead. That is the reset avoided for Endpoint. And Imperial still not looking great as far as money is concerned. It's going to be a tight squeeze if they decide to go for it here. Let's see what they do. It won't be a purchase. It is going to be just the pistols upgraded on some. Imperial are doing their best to protect their economy in the future rounds.
Okay, they're just going to go for that halfway. They realise that's where their best opportunity lies right now. Just try and capitalise off the back of any sort of issues that Endpoint kind of give you off the back of Jacob just darting on forward. It's this whole just throw what you've got at them and see what you can make stick. Jacob gets 1, that's pretty good value for them, but 1 doesn't really kind of change the idea of them actually winning the round. It's just damage, it's just impact on towards Endpoint when the score is 13-9. Impact really isn't what you need.
Currently 4 versus 4. Imperial still in a position where they can hold the bomb site. Zelen up close, just behind this smoke, watching for any terrorists pushing through. Mighty Max has been showing his hand quite a few times, and he's going to run straight in, but he finds the quick flick with the 5-7 kill traded. This works out for Endpoint as a deagle shot falls into Cryptic's body. The bomb currently lost behind this train. Cryptix should be able to recover it as he takes down Resin and Boaster as well, leaving just Connor left alone. But I've seen crazy things with Connor and his deagle. I'm ready to witness them again here on train if he so pleases. Bomb to be planted as we speak. Connor biding his time. Let's see what he can do. Looking to peek left, peeks right as well. There's no one there for you, Connor. They're around the corner. Now you're going to see where these terrorists are. He misses all his shots, but he finally connects onto Cryptix. Now he needs to clean up 2 more terrorists here. Looking, peeking. Where are they? They're there, but you can't land the shot. Unfortunately for Connor, no highlight clips today. That will be Endpoint pushing it to 14.
Do love the whole internal monologue almost of Connor's mindset there, but at the end of the day, it kind of reeled down to the situation of 3 shots, 2 heads. Judging off that first frag, it wasn't quite going to fall into place, and that leads us to the destination we find ourselves stuck upon. 14-9 is the scoreline. Ladies and gents, yes, Imperial, they may have been able to put up a show on their CD side. We've seen some better things, but we could also see Endpoint just squeeze out that final 2. At least something starts strong for them. Jacob yet again proving his prowess with the AWP. Connor aggression on towards Snods, cuts him down. Himmy, well, here the fire is pretty good nowadays, just going away, right?
Why not, you know? Get your feet up, nice and toasty. It's a relaxing
you know, it's all good.
Wednesday evening here at the UK Masters. But look, Imperial, they've managed to whittle down this attack already. Now that they have the guns in hand. They bide their time, they play their cards cool. Now looking to push it to 10 on the board as Mighty Max going to be eaten up by Boaster. Imperial find that all-important 10th round on the board. It's only 14 between these guys, but we'll have to see if they can go anywhere with it.
14-10 though, do have to kind of bear in mind that Endpoint literally just need to shut this one down with 2. Imperial on the flip side need 4. So this round is pretty huge for them, right? If they can kind of win this, then they can start to crack at the economy of Endpoint, whip them into shape, and see what they can do. So, Imperial, the floor is yours. Show us what you've got.
Absolutely. Here comes the Ivy push. Jacob's going to find 3 here. He finds Ezio. Can he get anything more? It's 4, in fact, but the Molotov pushes everyone back. Now these flashbangs to escape. Smoke goes down. Mighty Max up close and personal with Connor. And it will be currently Endpoint separated as they push through. Mighty Max wanting to get onto the site, just peeking through this smoke. But Connor's up close and he reveals himself. Unfortunately, Mighty Max will capitalize. That's Jacob rushed. He finds Imi in the process, but he got 2 for his bang, and it makes it a 3 versus 3 here for Imperial. Now they need to watch Zelen at E-Box in a position where he can challenge Mighty Max for the 1v1. Will Endpoint expect this position? Zelen up behind, reveals it. Boaster now looking to make something happen, and he is able to capitalize off the low HP. But Snods has Zelen covered in this 3 versus 2. Unfortunately, though, he misses. And now this retake scenario looks very good for Imperial. Oh dear.
Oh no, not like this. Zelen has to do it all now. Can he achieve the fight? Mighty Max is going to take him down. Mighty Max now charging on forward as well, looking for the spray, but Boaster will secure at least, so doing what Zelen couldn't. But that was too close for comfort.
Certainly was. But now Endpoint might be thinking that this scoreline is also too close for comfort. They had a tremendous lead coming into this second half, and Imperial have made it right back up. 3 more rounds and Imperial tie the scoreline. And this is where things for Endpoint start to get a little bit shaky. Onto the Tech 9s and the Deagles here. Pistols and that singular smoke to go over. What can they make of this, Flakes?
Well, we're going to just attempt some sort of electrifying play from Endpoint at this point. They're just going to go for a bit of a static shot jump out on towards this A site, sideline them with the Tech 9s, the quick aggression, the peaks from these Deagles. You've got to hit your shots. That's something in itself.
Last time they did this, they got very close. The bomb did go down. They weren't able to quite get the round win, though. Imperial managed to clean up their act. Boaster, though, pushed on up. Ezio peeking with his shoulder. Does get the information that Boaster is holding that angle. Will they look to overwhelm? Nice little jump boost puts Ezio in a position where he can challenge. Boaster is forced back. The pressure's there from Endpoint despite the weapons. Currently playing this pressure game very nicely.
So far so good. And Endpoint, they kind of slow things down. They had the setup, sure, they had the ability, but they decided, you know what, let's go for a bit of a later push and try and catch Imperial Garden, that sort of aspect. But no, you just walked into a firing range of rifle prowess. It is going to be a triple kill, make that a quadra kill, spread amongst the ranks of Imperial as they find themselves all the frags, leaving just Ezio to sit there, shovel in hand, starting to dig his own hole. It is going to be Boaster to give him a helping hand.
Nice guy, Boaster. Good guy, man. You know, comes over with a shovel, says, you know, I see you sweating there a little bit, Ezio. I'll help you out. 12 to 14 now. Imperial closing that gap. The guns will be there for Endpoint once more, and the utility as well to make it a little bit easier for them. Let's see how Endpoint decide to play this. They have shown that they have the presence of mind to find rounds on train. Imperial have shut them down many times. Mighty Max, though, he's up close once more. Molotov in hand. It's the smoke, in fact, and somehow he finds Jacob. Snods rushing onto the B site. Will jump on over into the fire, and he will burn away, unfortunately. Boaster somehow getting away from that one with his life. The bomb laying on the floor. Snods dropped it. Endpoint have to push forward, but they are going to get the plant down, and they're attacking from all angles. Just leave Zealot and Boaster up against 4 to make this work, and Mighty Max, he's coming from the A site as well. Means there is a ticking time bomb, quite literally, if you think about it. The red thing on the ground. Let's see, Zealot pushing up the train, Ezio on the other side. Everyone else is so far back from Endpoint, but Ezio will connect his AK. Leaves Boaster with an AWP, not the optimal weapon, and he will be taken down. That's match point now for Endpoint.
A very rough around the edges retake coming in from Imperial. They allow themselves to get pried apart as well as they try to adjust from the A site. Well, they weren't even able to get towards B, and then kind of with those last two standing, going one by one, you kind of have to ask the question of, well, what do you expect to happen? You have no support. You're not helping each other. Sometimes team play better than just going in for those individual flare-based moments. I'm sure they had a game plan, and not to knock on them in that regard. You have your own ideas, sure. Well, 15-12, you run out of chances now. You've got one more left to show. 5 players already kind of low HP, just on 16. Boaster gonna have his work cut out for him over towards B. As you can clearly see, Endpoint do just kind of want to put the final nail in the coffin.
Make their move over. Get the positions ready for the B site take. All 5 members there. Apart from Imi, he may drop down onto the A side and cause a bit of noise. So Ezio picks his head forward, but Boaster is calm and collected. That HE will force it back. Now he gets to hold a different angle, but this will be these guys coming back over towards the A site as Endpoint decides to change things up, and Jacob, he's caught out of position.
It's not good at all, in fact completely disastrous, as it is going to be a bit of a foul placed in between these players. The A site practically wide open. Zealot is going to have to try and hold it from Connector. The big thing from Imperial though is they do have that flank, and that flank is pretty much what can completely change this round. It's either Cataclysmic Impact or nothing at all. Connor, time to shine. 16 HP, a man on a mission with a UMP. Cryptix is going to get that plant. Imperial, you can see them shifting their way through this, but Connor does nothing at all. Snods will take him down. Connector is now going to be held by Cryptix as well. Could be racing the point of this being all but done, as Mighty Max will take the head clean off a Boaster. Leaving just the 2 players. At least they're going together, sure, but they're both in Connector. The lights are on. Reason going to peek towards Ivy. They're all shining on the faces of Endpoint. They will claim victory, 16-12. A very wish-washy game, though, it has to be said. Both of these teams have moments that provided shock and awe, both positive and negative. We could berate both of them for their play on both of their sides.
Certainly can, but it will be Endpoint who shine through in that one. Close down to the wire, Imperial certainly showed